This is Chemistry Made Simple YouTube channel. I take this opportunity to welcome you to another great learning segment. Today, we concern ourselves with the foundations of organic nomenclature, and we shall therefore start by looking at the nomenclature of a class of compounds known as alkanes. First things first, what are alkanes? Alkanes can be simply defined as a family of organic compounds that is represented by the general formulae displayed besides there. Note that the two general formulae there represent the two classes of alkanes, and those are straight chain alkanes and cyclic alkanes. So exactly what does nomenclature of alkanes deal with? In order to name alkanes, we follow guidelines from an organization that is known as Iupac. Iupac is an acronym for the universal body that is known as the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. As a general rule, according to Iupac, the name of the alkane must end with the suffix -ane. However, the first four members in this family of alkanes have special names. Displayed besides me here is the first member with only a single carbon atom, and its special name is methane. Number 2, displayed there, is the second member with two carbon atoms, and its name is ethane. Number 3, displayed besides there, is the third member, and its name is propane. And finally, number 4 is the fourth member with four carbon atoms, and its name is butane. So, as seen in the first four members, their names are ending with the suffix -ane. And also, these first four members are special, and therefore, it mandates that each one of us should know their names. I repeat, there is no scientific criteria that I know, I have to be honest, upon which the basis of these four members were named. Now, according to Iupac, is that in order to name alkanes that have more than four carbon atoms, the name of such an alkane must have two parts. The first part is the Latin prefix that corresponds to the total number of carbon atoms in this straight chain alkane, and the second part is the suffix -ane. Displayed besides here is a table that shows the Latin prefix vis-a-vis the number of carbon atoms. I give you some time to gaze upon the table because it is a very important table. After having gazed at the table, we can now use the table to name the following. In our first example here is that alkane has 5 carbon atoms, and therefore, basing on the previous table, the name of that straight chain alkane becomes pentane. Next example, the alkane there is having 7 carbon atoms, and by basing on the previous table and the Iupac guideline that we have learned so far, the name of that alkane becomes heptane. And finally, the displayed compound there is an alkane that has 10 carbon atoms. By basing on the previous table and the general Iupac guideline for naming alkanes, the name of that alkane therefore becomes decane. In this first part, we have been seeing how to name straight chain alkanes. How about cyclic alkanes? Ladies and gentlemen, how do we name cyclic alkanes? Basing on Iupac guidelines, therefore, the name of a cyclic alkane is obtained by writing the prefix cyclo followed by the name of the corresponding straight chain alkane. Notice that we have already learned how to name straight chain alkanes. So displayed besides me here is the first member in cyclic alkanes, and by following the guideline above is that the name becomes cyclopropane. The next example displayed there following the guidelines above has the Iupac name cyclopentane. The last compound displayed besides there, by basing on the guidelines which we have so far seen, has the name cyclohexane. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been my presentation. However, before I sign out, I would like to welcome you to our classroom. We are supposed to name the two compounds in part A and B systematically. And when they say systematically, it just simply implies that we are supposed to follow the correct Iupac guidelines. A quick analysis shows that this is a straight chain alkane and this is a cyclic alkane. Therefore, by following the guidelines above, if we are to name this, let us count the number of carbon atoms that there are. So the carbon atoms that there are, if we are to count together, this is 1, I've started from here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this compound has 8 carbon atoms. And by following the guidelines above, therefore, the name of this compound becomes cyclo, and then the name of the corresponding straight chain alkane is as simple as that. Let us proceed to part B, and in the same way, we establish the total number of carbon atoms that there are in the compound, and these are number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 carbon atoms. After determining that our compound has 9 carbon atoms, therefore, by following the guidelines from Iupac, the name of this alkane is going to be, this is the prefix for 9 carbon atoms from Latin, followed by the suffix ane. So the names of our compounds are nonane and cyclooctane, respectively. At this point, I want to wholeheartedly thank you for being part and parcel of my presentation. Do you have any challenging concepts in organic chemistry? Please contact me by sending me an email using the email address in the description of this video. Until next time, I remain yours truly, the chemistry teacher. Goodbye.